LaVar Arrington, what can I say? I grew up in that era kind of watching him. I had the opportunity to potentially go play at Penn State and be one of his teammates. But I truly remember at Penn State and Beaver Stadium, and LaVar comes down and he blitzes and he just jumps over our 6'3", 240-pound tailback and rips Steve Bellisari apart. And I'm like, wow. I'm on special teams. I'm a contributor. I wasn't, I was just kind of getting going in my career. But I remember watching him in a sideline tackle as well. Steve kind of scrambled, and LaVar came through with them long arms, and he basically just took his head off. And I was like, oh, I got to do something like that. I got to play like that. Man, I would say for me, being from Canton, Ohio, growing up next to the Pro Football Hall of Fame and actually playing in that high school stadium and seeing those professional athletes come in every August, for those couple of days, it gave me inspiration. The game of football has truly allowed me to grow as a man, to get knocked down, getting up, winning, losing, preparing, just the off seasons and just really trying to go out there and be successful. What mattered, I would say the moment for me that I will never forget, being in high school, playing for a state championship, and we hadn't won one since like 1981. I was just born in that year, and ultimately to bring the championship back to Stark County, and it was pretty fun. So for me, when I think back of my career, long term, the proudest moment for me would have an opportunity to leave as a junior. Sat down with my family, spoke to my mother, and she wanted me to be a college graduate, and she wanted me, to be the first on college graduate in our family. And ultimately, I decided to make the decision to stay for my senior year. But when I did that, I said in a press conference, I'll be returning to get my degree and to also win a national championship. So, to have that, foresight, God's faith and the wisdom and just As a Man Thinketh, if you ever read that book, As a Man Thinketh, I believed in my heart in 2002, January 2002 when I made the announcement. To then have that full season culminate into a national championship, got my degree, coming back from my mother, it was proud, getting my degree, for her to see that's the moment. So, the athletics was kind of like the icing on the cake, but to truly, just being, growing up, everything she's instilled in me, the motivation, the difference that she wanted me to make in people's lives, I think when she saw me get that college degree, that was, very heartfelt, and that's a moment that I'll always cherish. Well, man, I think it's hard. I mean, the business of college football has definitely changed, in the last 20 years. We all remember my teammate Maurice Clarett, getting suspended, and, ultimately his career was over at Ohio State after 11 games, national champion. And to see how the difference now, just even the recruiting process, the name, image, likeness, it makes a difference. I think the portal has basically become free agency. As you look at it from an NFL perspective, it's become free agency, but it's also very risky. Only 4 out of 10 players actually get re-sign or go to another university. So you have all these names going into this portal thinking, hey, it's greener pasture somewhere else. And the harsh reality is, the grass is green where you water it. The grass is greener where you water it. If you put the foundational work in, you take the time to hone in on your craft, you take the time to be a good teammate, you take the time to educate yourself with a college degree, and once you get the chance to go perform, now you got to be ready, right? What's the old saying, you don't have to get ready if you stay ready. So ultimately, there's a lot of talent in the game, and there's a lot of talent out there. The name, image, likeness, kind of changes that perspective a little bit because you have parents and family members, now looking for, hey, what's in it for me, or what's the opportunity that's going to help impact my life, or at 18, 19 years old. You got these young men making these decisions at 18, 19 years old, and it's very tough, for 10 grand or 50 grand or 100 grand or a CJ Stroud $500,000. This stuff, is changing the game, and, we hope it stays pure at heart, and just really, because college football to me is the best in the sense of the fan base, the what's at stake every week. It's the game. The college game is truly the most purest, outside of high school football. Man, when you think about my legacy, truthfully, I want people to say, he loved his kids. I have 3 beautiful daughters, so, I truly look at the balance of life on how do you leave and give and pass on the torch. And I want my daughters to always know that Dad did everything possible to make sure that they were successful, that they can do anything that they want, that they can be whoever they want. And, the athletic side of thing, I think, it kind of obviously it speaks for itself from the accolades, but I was never one who wanted to go for the award. It really was always about my team winning and being recognized as winners. And I think the legacy as being the champion on every level, being a Super Bowl champion with the Colts, national champion at Ohio State, and high school championships, and we were even USA Today, ranked high school champions, national champions. That's a blessing and an honor, but I just want people to say the man of Mike was always open. He was never give his shirt off his back. He would always take time to talk to every fan, talk to the kids, take pictures, sign autographs. That legacy is that I was one of the people. I was one with the people. That would be on my tombstone. One with the people. LaVar Arrington, what can I say? I grew up in that era kind of watching him. I had the opportunity to potentially go play at Penn State and be one of his teammates. But I truly remember at Penn State and Beaver Stadium, and LaVar comes down and he blitzes, and he just jumps over our 6'3", 240-pound tailback and rips Steve Bellisari apart. And I'm like, wow. I'm on special teams. I'm a contributor. I wasn't, I was just kind of getting going in my career. But I remember watching him and on a sideline tackle as well. Steve kind of scrambled, and LaVar came through with them long arms, and he basically just took his head off. And I was like, oh, I got to do something like that. I got to play like that. So to be in the same conference, to watch his career, LaVar's always been a player motivation when I was looking up to who you want to stand up tall with in the Big Ten. And I'm just honored to be in this class with him. The Champ Baileys, the Sylvester Crumbs, the Michael Crabtrees, Andrew Luck, Roy Williams. I tell Roy all the time, I say, Roy, you took my Thorpe Award. I was supposed to have that, but it's okay, So at the end of it's a blessing and an honor, man. This is truly fun, great experience for all of us, and just to be recognized, for our contribution, to the game of college football has been awesome.
I think the biggest trait for me was accountability, right? And I think it was, just showing up every day, being there when my teammates needed me, big play needed to happen, being there, making a play, just always being accountable is probably the biggest trait that, I take away from the game. Not necessarily a lesson, just over time, I just hated missing things, right? And, when I watch the game and guys don't show up one week, or you don't show up to practice, and I just never wanted to be that guy that didn't put it all out there and give it everything I had. So just every little thing about the game, just being present it meant the world to me. Do the work. I don't. It doesn't matter. That's just noise, right? Like I think it's a beautiful thing that they can make money off their name and their image and likeness, but it doesn't matter if you don't do the work. Like that's what's going to get you paid is put the work in, put the time in. The days when people are not watching you, that's what's going to bring your value to the highest it could be. So just dial in and don't forget what it takes to actually make money off your name, image, and likeness is the work. Well, I think, just to reflect and look back at the work, the body of work I put in, the years and years of going out there and doing it. I mean, I'm amazed at, what I've done because it was hard. I'm in it, I'm good at it. You don't really think about the time and the energy you put into it till you reflect on it and you get your head out of the sand and realize, oh, there's a whole nother world out here. I've been playing football and, dialed in for so long. I really appreciate that part of my game. He was somebody you could count on. He showed up. He said he did what he said he would do. He gave it his all. You never feel like he left something on the table. Like he went out there and gave it his all. And, if people could say that about me, I'd be proud.